Oops. So Tom, here we are back again, and we're going to make meatballs. Meatballs, not meat sauce. Takes a little bit more time, not too much more, actually just kind of a different workload. So you're going to put your oven on 350. Not sure what it is Celsius, but like a typical cooking and baking heat. And you're going to need a square, you're going to need a bowl to mix your meatballs in. And then you're going to need a oblong pan or some kind of a pan, round baking dish, square metal pan to put the meatballs in and bake them in the oven. So you're going to bake at 350 for 35 to 40 minutes your meatballs. So 350 oven, you're going to need a bowl and a pan to bake your meatballs in. So here's your pound of ground beef. So you start with a pound of ground beef, not frozen. It's got to be able to be mixed. You're going to add 1 egg. Those are the blueberry muffins and the watermelon I bought the other day. So you don't need to add blueberry muffins or watermelon. So you add 1 egg. Those are Andrew's burgers for later. You're going to add a teaspoon of oregano or a teaspoon of any Italian seasoning that you can find. A whole actually, I would probably put in a tablespoon. So measuring spoons are good. 1 tablespoon of oregano or Italian seasoning. I'd put in, now this is tricky, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Otherwise, they'll be too overpowering. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of minced onion. If you don't have any minced onion, just leave it out. You definitely want the pepper. You definitely want the garlic powder. So you want those 2 things for sure. The egg you need and your meat. Any kind of breadcrumb. So I've got Italian-style breadcrumbs, which just have more seasoning, or if you can't find Italian-style, just get any kind of plain breadcrumb. Maybe polvo de pan, bread dust. I'm not really sure if you can find that. And the garlic's left over from the previous recipe. So there you go. That's your meatball recipe. A pound of hamburger meat, 1 egg, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of minced onion, which is optional, 1 full cup of breadcrumbs, any kind. You mix everything together, mix it really well till it looks like it's all the same, not sort of chunks of bread or chunks of meat. So spend a good 2 or 3 minutes mixing it all together with your spoon. Just mix it up together. And then, with your hands, you're going to form it into golf balls. So I couldn't find a golf ball, but you don't want a tennis ball. And you don't want a baseball. You want a golf ball size. And you don't want a teeny-weeny Super Ball size. So you want them golf ball size. Because what it'll do is it'll make 1 pound of meat makes about 11 golf ball size meatballs. So you get like 11 or 12 meatballs out of it, which is nice. If there's 3 of you each, there's 4 meatballs. If there's 4 of you each get 3 meatballs. So you mix them all up, make them into golf ball size balls, and then you're going to bake in the shallow baking pan in the oven at 350, whatever 350 is in Celsius, for about 35 to 40 minutes. Make sure you put your timer on, because otherwise they'll be icky, overcooked, and you don't want to undercook them either. So once they're done, 35 to 40 minutes, go a little bit longer, unless you think the oven is too hot. Then, they're ready to eat at that point, and you can just add them to the sauce you've made from previous in a bigger pan. Or if you need to, just throw it all in a big bowl and you can microwave it and people can eat out of the bowl. So you need to have the sauce, the meatballs need to be cooked, and then you cook your pasta and your Tripoli bread and your veggie, and you're good to go. So those are 2 recipes for you. So that's meatballs or meat sauce and pasta. So, all right, son, love you, and hope it all works out.